House of David. House of David, season 2, episode 4, titled Road to Atonement. Very quickly, I'll give a quick Gronk enhanced summary.
Spoiler alert if you haven't watched, but you should watch.
You know what? We don't have time. Let's just get into it. Thoughts?
I'm going to go home and binge watch it, guys. I've failed you again.
Okay, quick recap of what the episode was about. Okay, I should probably not get back to this.
Yeah, you should do the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Adriel deceives Saul. Adriel was the leader of the tribe of Judah. Deceives Saul about the anointed king's location, leading to a massacre of an innocent Bethlehem family by Eliab and Joab. Eliab is David's older brother. David suffers heavy losses at his first command against Philistine raiders at Geba, which causes him to self-doubt. Saul confronts Samuel at the tabernacle, demanding loyalty, but Samuel publicly defies him. Adriel allies with David, demanding future favors. Romantic tensions rise. Jonathan proposes, blah, 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 blah. Michal ends her affair with David, blah, 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 blah. David and Merab go closer. The episode ends with escalating paranoia for Saul, guilt for Eliab, and shifting alliances. What are you guys laughing at while I'm trying to do this?
Some
Lee Stevens made a comment.
he did. You're not getting the oysters from him.
He doesn't like oysters.
He's allergic to oysters.
Oh, man.
It's a darn shame.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry to hear that, Lee. That's a real shame.
A man allergic to oysters is a man that would kill off beautiful women. I now understand the dynamic here. So, thoughts on the episode?
I thought it was good. They're still doing a lot of setup.
A lot of setup, which I'm all right with.
I'm okay with it. I am constantly like, man, you're doing a lot of stuff that's not in the source material.
It's true.
And I feel like
It's true. It's
in a
dangerous.
few seasons, you're going to be cutting things that are going to upset me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna recognize all of this kind of vacant space that you could have. I feel that they're going to start cutting stuff in the later seasons.
They're like, oh, we don't have time to get to everything. It's like, yeah, you did if you just dumped that.
If you had just sped up,
feel like
you had sped up things, you would.
I don't disagree with that. Again,
That being said, I enjoyed the episode. I'm enjoying the show.
Yes, same
But
here.
I think
But I see that coming down the pipe, and it's.
I hope not.
I hope not, but I
the
see
first 3 episodes, it was harder for me to get into this season than the
previous season?
the previous
Yeah,
season.
but David and Goliath, let's be real.
Yeah,
David and
right.
Goliath
Story,
was a
yeah.
thing.
But this episode is where you start seeing David and his band of men start developing. And I think that's really where it starts shining. There's still some things that I'm just kind of I don't know about that, but this is where you start seeing the relationship between him and his mighty men start coming together.
Right, you have Jonathan and Uriah, and there's that scene where they're all kind of sitting around the fire, and David's playing, and they start kind of
And
joking
then they
amongst
leave,
themselves.
and they're all singing.
Yeah.
Yes, and
The episode
Jonathan
ends.
comes and sits next to him and is like, "Oh, don't worry about them." And then when they leave at the end of the episode,
They're all singing.
They're all singing. It's like, "Oh, that's actually that's
Yeah.
really cool." I can see why. This makes more sense to me.
There's something
why
there.
they would follow him when he goes into exile.
I think this is where they're starting to develop David becoming the actual like heir to the throne rather than just an heir.
No. They're not developing David being the heir to the throne. They're developing David being the exiled heir to the throne.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes. That's a better statement.
Yes. Because even the whole the non-biblical storyline of Joab and Eliab going and murdering somebody that was like falsely
Their neighbor,
accused of
yeah,
being
yeah.
Again, not biblical. It can rub you wrong, but like you got to remember, Joab and Eliab end up in the wilderness with David at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, it's laying groundwork for some of that. Whereas Abner will stay true to Saul. You know, let me say 2 things that for me that I like a lot. Let me say one thing not really related to the storyline at all, but I liked. Dude, I thought it was great to like I really enjoyed the depiction of what the the 1000 BC glimpse into the tabernacle look like.
Agreed.
Like, I did not see that coming. And like from a and again, I appreciate that they didn't show the Ark of the Covenant because we know it's in a garage like 60 miles away. Mm-hmm. But like, and even having Samuel involved in the process, you got to remember Samuel was a priest. Like he was the basically the successor of. So they have him as like the high priest. He's never referred to as the high priest. And then that whole thing with him and Saul, like the tension building there, but like the sacrifice, that whole processional about the tabernacle. I just, again, it has nothing to do with the story. I just really liked the depiction of it. I thought it was cool. I know you kind of got like almost bent out of shape.
So I almost got bent out of shape because in that scene when you first see the brazier, the altar that they are actually sacrificing the goat on, it has poles. I thought that was supposed to be the Ark of the Covenant, and I was very prepared to be upset.
No, me too. Same thought process.
But I was very once the scene kind of develops, I was like, oh, that totally isn't what I thought it was. They're not doing something incredibly stupid.
Well, and even within that scene, that can get missed, and I think it's probably the most powerful moment of the entire episode, and it'll probably be the most powerful episode or scene of like the season or even 2 seasons, because there's a contrast that's established. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but that scene,
David.
So you have Saul like going up telling Samuel, you need to anoint me. And Samuel's like, this stage is for priests. Get off. Mm-hmm. And then you have David, who has just led, like, a guy gets murdered under his watch, gets killed. And he's like really carrying it. But you see his heart, like his sacrifice, he sets the thing up to the altar and he begins to worship God there. Like there's the contrast that's established that David, amidst his flaws, which will be many, there is very much a heart of submissiveness to God, which I think, again, you'll look back and say that was the establishment of this idea that will be very important moving forward, because they begin to sing that song later on as they're leaving. Mm-hmm. So there's that whole tabernacle thing that I thought was that was very cool. The other thing that I really do like is, maybe 2 things. They're continuing to lean into Saul's paranoia and violence because of it. I think that's biblically accurate. And the way that they've laid out or are laying out this very complex storyline that exists between David and Michael and Merab, because that'll have like big ramifications
far down the road,
multiple ways. It seems a little convoluted right now, but like, again, if you know the story, I'm like, I'm very much in favor of that.
You know what else I really enjoyed, that I would have loved to see in more just general fantasy, that I think they're doing really well in this show. That is nothing. It's not biblical. It's nothing to do with any of that. I am really enjoying watching 2 different peoples work from bronze to iron.
Oh yeah,
it's just kind of happening in the background. Every now and then they'll cut to the Philistines, and they are trying to make another iron sword.
Well, they went out to capture like some coal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are they using coal for? You need coal to get fire hot enough to work iron.
So
I've never really seen it done in visual media before, this kind of transition. And I've really enjoyed the way they're doing that. I think it's a lot of fun.
So again, this is maybe predictive from a biblical standpoint. So I think they're going to carry that storyline where now they have the weapon, right?
The strongest metal known to man.
But who happens to get his hands on the sword of Goliath? So when David flees Saul, he'll go to the city of the priests to get the showbread to eat. He's on the run, and he'll ask for a weapon because he doesn't have one. And what do they give him? They give him the sword of Goliath. So David's sword becomes the most premier sword ever built. They're good. So again,
that's a really, I hadn't thought about that, but that is also a really cool
they're
point.
doing all that about the swords because Saul won't have that sword,
but
David will have the sword. And then you get into and again, it'll be interesting to see how they move forward because David ends up being like the whole Achish thing. So Achish is the king of the Philistines. David at some point in the future will be like BFFs with him.
Will work for him.
Yes, they will be best friends.
We're still getting really close to the point of the Philistine foreskins.
We are
really close. I'm waiting for that episode to come out.
I don't
How
think
they're going to handle
Thought
that.
of that? They're going to cut that. There's no way.
Yeah, probably because they
I
didn't
hope
show
they
that.
don't.
You can't cut that.
That's one of the best stories out of that whole
You
saga.
know what? I forgot
So
about
Merab,
the
in case you don't know, Merab gets married to another guy, and David gets proposed to be married to Michael. But Saul's like, as the dowry, because you don't have any money, because Saul's trying to get David murdered, I need 100 foreskins of the Philistines, which Philistines would not willingly give up their foreskins. So David has to kind of conquest.
Most men wouldn't, not just Philistines specifically.
Any man wouldn't. So David comes back actually not with 100, but 200, for Michael's hand in marriage. So I totally hope that they get, again, if the throwing spears foreshadowing extrapolates us out, it might not overlap because that's not ultimately what gets David to run. It's the whole Jonathan with the arrows. This isn't going to happen. So we'll see. Again, good stuff. I don't mind paying the money for it. If you're watching Wonder Project, it's $9 a month.
It's worth the money.
Just do it. Just do it. Support something good. And we promise that if it takes a turn, we'll say cancel it because we will have. So we're going to review these episodes as long as they're good. But the moment that it takes a hard right, we'll again, trust us. We'll let you know. Don't think that that's there. We're giving grace where grace should be and having fun. Any final thoughts? And then let's bail. We good?
Good to go.
Dear Daddy,
I'm going to go home and binge watch it, I promise.
you've not watched any of it, really?
No.
Not really.
My problem is I did binge watch it. And
Can't remember it.
Have you watched ahead again? Did we say we weren't going to do that this time?
I have not watched episode 6 or further than episode 5.
So, okay, the way that this works, guys, this is going to be great. So we've got we've got basically through the end of the year mapped. From this point forward, every week we've got an episode we're reviewing. There's 8 in totality. We'll review all 8. We won't get ahead. And then just, again, programming note, we will be taking about a month off through the holidays. We have some interviews. We'll be releasing some good stuff, some good content. But we're going to take a little bit of a holiday break, which will be great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for the Outlaw Radio Show. If you're watching, check out the podcast, Apple, Google, Spotify. If you're listening, awesome. Share it, pass it along. Hope you enjoyed it. But hang out with us one Wednesday night. We live stream at outlawradio.live, which is our YouTube channel, or facebook.com/TheRadioOutlaw. We stream on both of those platforms. You can learn all about the show, outlawradio.org. Again, thanks so much for being with us. We love you guys. You guys enable us to do this. We thank you. God bless.